You are destroying yourself and you call it love. You call it loyalty. You call it being a good human being. But in the cold, hard light of reality, it is none of those things. It is self-destruction dressed up in noble clothing. There is a terrifying truth about human nature that most people are too scared to face. A truth that the greatest master of dark strategy whispered to kings and rulers 500 years ago. It is a lesson that modern society tries to bury deep. The lesson is this: not everyone can be saved. And more importantly, not everyone wants to be saved. There are people walking this earth who are not looking for a way out. They are looking for someone to hold on to while they drag everything down. And if you offer them your hand, they will not climb out of the water. They will pull you in. They will use your body as a raft to stay afloat while you slowly sink into the depths of their madness. You know exactly who I am talking about. You have met them. Maybe you are bleeding for one right now. The friend who is always in a crisis. The partner who drains your soul but demands your patience. The family member who takes your money, your energy, your peace, and repays you with nothing but resentment and excuses. You try to fix them. You try to heal them. You tell yourself that if you just love them enough, if you just give enough, they will finally change. But the brutal truth is this: a person who tries to be good all the time will eventually be destroyed by those who are not. Compassion without limits is not a strength. It is a weakness. It is a fatal flaw that predators, parasites, and the willfully broken will exploit until you are nothing but an empty, exhausted shell of who you used to be. Today, we are going to do something uncomfortable. We are going to cut away the dead weight of blind kindness. We are going to look at the 6 types of people you must never, under any circumstances, try to save. This is not about being cruel. This is not about being heartless. This is about surviving. This is about protecting your power so you can use it for the people who actually deserve it. Stay with me here. If you are tired of being the one who gives everything and receives nothing but pain in return, then listen closely. This might be the single most important lesson of your entire life, but be warned. Once you see human nature through this lens, you cannot go back to the comfortable lie of not knowing. Before we get into the 6 types, you need to understand why you keep falling into this trap. Why do you rush into the burning building when the person inside is the one who lit the match? It is because somewhere along the way, you were taught that your value is tied to how useful you are to others. You were taught that goodness is measured by how much pain you are willing to endure. You were taught that saying no is an act of betrayal, that thinking is slowly killing you. The old masters of strategy understood something that most people today refuse to accept. Energy is a limited resource. Power is limited. Time is limited. When you pour everything you have into a person who is a black hole, you are not just wasting those resources. You are actively destroying your own future. Think of it like a ship. The ship has a limited amount of space and limited supplies. If you bring everyone on board, the unstable ones, the destructive ones, the ones who hate the ship itself, the ship does not become a safe place. It sinks, and everyone goes down with it, including the good ones, including you. To save the ship, you have to be ruthless about who you allow on deck. This is a hard truth, but it is the only truth that keeps you alive. Sometimes the most caring thing you can do for a person is let them hit the very bottom. Because the bottom is the only place where the illusion finally breaks. The bottom is the only place where a person is forced to either stand up or stay down forever. When you save someone before they reach that point, you steal their lesson. You interrupt the natural law of cause and effect. You remove the one thing that could have actually changed them. So who are they? Who are the 6 you must let go? Let us begin. The first one is the most subtle and, honestly, the most dangerous of them all. The first type is the person who seems to be permanently followed by disaster. Every time you speak to them, there is a new catastrophe. They lost their job, their car broke down again, their partner betrayed them, their landlord threw them out. It is a relentless, exhausting river of misfortune that never seems to stop flowing. And at first, your heart breaks for them. You think, how can one person go through so much? You step in, you lend them money, you give them advice, you connect them with opportunities you worked hard to build, and for a week, maybe a month, things seem calm. But then it all collapses again. The job you helped them get, they lost it because the boss had it out for them. The money you lent them is gone, swallowed by some new emergency. Here is what you need to understand. Bad luck is not random for these people. The chronically unlucky are people who lack judgment, discipline, and self-awareness. They make impulsive decisions. They ignore red flags. They push people away. They are sloppy in their thinking and careless in their choices. But the one thing they never do is take responsibility. It is always the world doing it to them. It is always someone else's fault. Always bad luck. Never their choices. If you try to save this person, you invite their chaos into your world. You become part of their damage. And here is the cold physics of it. When you tie your boat to a sinking ship, the water does not care about your good intentions. You go down with them all the same. I have watched sharp, talented people lose their reputations, their savings, and their mental health because they tried to stabilize someone who is actually addicted to the chaos they claim to hate. You cannot fix a person who is in love with the drama of their own destruction. Why do they keep doing it? Because chaos gets them attention. Because being in constant crisis means they never have to show up and do the actual work. If they are always the victim, they never have to become the victor. Stop trying to be their umbrella. Step back. Let the rain fall on them. Let them get cold. Let them get wet. Because only the cold will teach them that they need to build their own shelter. If you keep shielding them from consequence, you are simply funding their inability to grow. And eventually, their cycle of bad choices will become your cycle of bad outcomes. Keep your distance. Guard your peace like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Now, the second type is perhaps the most emotionally painful to deal with. This is the person who asks for your help, consumes your help completely, and then turns around and resents you for it. The great thinkers of strategy wrote about the unstable nature of gratitude. They understood that people are quick to shift their feelings once their needs have been met. The ungrateful person suffers from a deep wound of entitlement. They do not see your kindness as a gift. They see it as something you owe them. And the pattern always follows the same path. Watch how it unfolds. The first time you help them, they are overwhelmed with thanks. You saved me. I do not know what I would do without you. You feel good. You feel needed. The hook is set. The second time they ask with much less hesitation. You help again, and they say thank you, but it is shorter now, less genuine, less eye contact. The third time, they do not even ask. They just expect. And if you pause, if you hesitate even for a second, they get irritated. You get the passive-aggressive comment, I thought real friends help each other. This is the bottomless pit. Nothing you give will ever be enough to fill what is hollow inside them. Because that emptiness is not a lack of money or resources. It is a lack of character. And when you keep helping someone like this, you create a toxic dynamic. You become the giver, and they become the permanent receiver. And here is the dark truth about human nature. People tend to quietly hate those they depend on the most. Dependence creates contempt. Deep down, they resent you because your strength is a constant reminder of their weakness. Your generosity only highlights their inability to stand on their own. So they take your time and money and energy, and then they quietly sharpen a knife. Have you ever noticed that the people you helped the most are often the very ones who speak the worst about you when you are not in the room? That is not a coincidence. That is human nature. If you sense the rot of entitlement in someone, test them. Say no to one small request. The way a person reacts to no tells you everything about their character. A healthy person will respect your boundary. The bottomless pit will react with anger, guilt, or sudden cold silence. They will try to punish you for turning off the tap. If you see that reaction, do not walk away. Run. You cannot rescue someone who genuinely believes the world owes them everything. You will pour your life into them, and they will look back at you with empty eyes and ask if that is all you have. Do not waste your best energy on people like this. Now we go into darker territory. The first two types drain you through weakness or entitlement. This third type drains you through something far more calculated, through quiet, deliberate malice. The greatest strategists throughout history understood that envy is one of the most destructive forces in any circle, any workplace, any friendship. The third type is often the person closest to you, the friend who has been around since the beginning, the peer who started at the same place as you, but then you grew. You pushed forward, you improved, and they stayed exactly where they were. They cannot stand it, but they are clever about it. They do not come at you directly. Open enemies are actually easier to deal with because you can see their moves coming. This person hides their resentment behind a smile. They frame their sabotage as concern. They want to protect you from your own success. Listen carefully to how they speak when you share good news with them. I got the promotion. Oh, really? That is great, but those hours are going to destroy you. I'm just worried. I met someone I really like. Just be careful. You know how you tend to get your hopes up. Do you hear it? The tiny drop of poison in every congratulations. They hide envy behind the language of protection. They plant seeds of doubt dressed up as care. They want to lower your confidence just enough so you slide back down to their level. Understand this deeply. The envious person wants to save you from your own success because your success is a mirror reflecting their stagnation. If you try to bring them along, if you try to lift them up by including them in your growth, they will, either consciously or unconsciously, sabotage everything. They will create drama the night before your biggest opportunity. They will give you advice that quietly steers you wrong. They will share your private plans with the wrong people. They do not want you to win. You cannot save the envious. Envy is a disease of the soul that eats the person carrying it from the inside. The only strategy that works is silence. Hide your wins. Hide your joy. Hide your plans from them. When they ask how things are going, be boring. Be neutral. Tell them it is tough. Feed them the ordinary story they need, and keep your victories for the people who genuinely celebrate you. If you try to heal their insecurity with your love and loyalty, you are holding on to a live wire. They will blow up the very bridge you are building just to watch you fall. Never let them know your next move. Now pause here for a second. Breathe. I know this is heavy. I know that faces are coming to your mind right now, names you have been avoiding saying out loud, and I know the guilt is starting to rise. The voice saying, but they need me, I can change them, I am different. Silence that voice. That voice is not your conscience. That is your ego pretending to be your conscience. It is arrogance telling you that you are powerful enough to rewrite who a person is at their core. You are not. You are a human being with a limited amount of energy and time. Stop plugging yourself into machines that run on pain. We still have 3 more types to get through, and these next 3 are the ones that will hit the deepest. The 4th type does not come at you with arrogance or a knife. They come at you on their knees. This is the professional victim. True victims of real circumstances want to escape their pain. They want out. They fight for better. But the professional victim does something entirely different. They farm their pain. They grow it carefully. They decorate it. They wear their suffering like a badge that demands you bow before it. They have turned their fragility into a weapon. I cannot do it because of my past. You are hurting me by asking me to take responsibility. The world is just too hard for someone like me. If you try to save this person, you enter a game with no exit because rescuing them would mean taking away the one thing that defines them. If they heal, they lose their excuse. If they find strength, they lose the constant attention that their weakness guarantees. So they will fight every solution you offer. You offer them a ladder and they say their arms are too tired. You offer them a rope and they say it hurts their hands. You try to carry them and they go completely limp, making themselves heavier, turning themselves into dead weight you were never supposed to carry. Every time you rescue them, you tell them that being broken is a currency that works. You are literally paying them to stay broken. And here is the darkest part of all. The moment you stop, the moment you say, I cannot carry this anymore, the soft, fragile lamb becomes something else entirely. The professional victim will turn on you with a ferocity that will genuinely shock you. They will tell everyone you abandoned them. They will rewrite the entire story so that your exhaustion looks like cruelty. They need a villain to complete their narrative. And by trying to be their hero, you have been quietly auditioning for the role of the villain the whole time. Do not play that role. Letting them fall is not cruelty. It is the only genuine form of respect for another person's ability to find their own strength. The 5th type is the enemy of wisdom, the enemy of progress, and if you are not careful, the enemy of your own sanity. This is not just someone who lacks knowledge. Ignorance can always be fixed with the right information and the right attitude. This is something far more resistant to change. This is someone who refuses to learn. Someone who is deeply in love with their own opinion, even when that opinion is actively destroying everything around them. You cannot teach someone who already believes they know everything there is to know. You have watched this person make the same mistakes in a loop, the same bad choices in relationships. The same financial decisions that end in disaster. The same arguments they can never seem to win. And you, with your clear eyes and genuine concern, you can see the cliff they are walking toward. You run toward them. You say, "Stop, look, the data is right here. This is going to end badly." And what happens? They do not thank you. They argue. They debate. They twist logic into shapes that hurt your brain. They tell you that you do not understand. They build entire mental systems to prove that what is clearly wrong is somehow right. Here is the rule you have to accept. You cannot use logic to pull someone out of a place they did not use logic to get into. The arrogant fool does not want truth. They want someone to agree with them. And when you offer truth instead of agreement, they see it as a personal attack. So they come after you. They call you arrogant. They mock your thinking. They drag you into circular arguments that drain your spirit and leave you more tired than when you started. And the worst part is when they finally fall off the cliff, and they will not learn. They will blame everyone and everything around them. Stop trying to teach people who have no desire to be students. Reality is the only teacher strong enough for them. It does not argue. It does not debate. It simply delivers the consequence. When this person speaks, stop correcting them. Step back. Let reality do the work you have been exhausting yourself trying to do. Save your wisdom for people who are humble enough to ask for it. And now the final type. The one that breaks the hearts of the most loyal, most loving people in the world. There is an old story about a scorpion who asks a frog to carry it across a river. The frog says, "No. If I carry you, you will sting me and I will die." The scorpion says, "Why would I do that? Then we would both drown." The frog thinks about it. The logic makes sense. The frog agrees. Halfway across the river, the scorpion stings the frog. As they both begin to sink, the frog asks why. The scorpion says simply, "It is my nature." There are people in this world whose nature is to betray, whose nature is to damage. This is the sixth type, the person you have forgiven more times than you can count. They lied to you. You forgave them. They used you. You forgave them. They broke every promise and came back crying. You forgave them again. Why? Because they cried. Because they promised. Because they said, "I have changed. I swear this is the last time. I am different now." And you want to believe it. You want to be the person who sees the good in everyone. You want to be the one who helped a broken person become whole. But the hard truth, the one that every wise person across history has known, is that behavior is a pattern. Character is a pattern. The single best indicator of what a person will do tomorrow is what they have already done before. When you keep taking the scorpion back, you are not helping them grow. You are teaching them that they can sting you and still face no real consequence. You are training them to keep hurting you. Every single time you take them back, you lose a piece of your self-respect. And they respect you less too, because how can they respect someone who does not even respect themselves? They see your forgiveness not as mercy, but as permission. If they did not lose me after that, then I can do it again. You are searching for the goodness in them while completely ignoring the shadow that has taken over. The only real move here is a complete cut, not a slow fade, not a from a distance friendship, a full, clean, permanent removal. It will feel like cutting off your own arm, but that arm has gone dark with poison. If you hold on to it, the poison reaches your heart, and you cannot afford that. Now you see all six: the chaos builder, the ungrateful taker, the smiling enemy, the victim who performs, the fool who refuses to learn, the scorpion who cannot help but sting. And as you sit with this, you are probably feeling something heavy in your chest because you recognize these people. You see them in your contacts. You see them at your table. And now the guilt is moving through you like a current because you know that walking away from them will make you look bad to some people. You will be called selfish. You will be called cold. You will be called hard, good. Wear those words like armor, because what small minds call selfishness, the wise call self-preservation. What they call coldness, the wise call clarity. There are two kinds of people. Kinds. Those who sacrifice themselves to light a fire for others, burning themselves all the way down to ash. And those who build a lighthouse. They stand tall. They shine the light, but they do not jump into the waves. The people who genuinely want to be saved will swim toward the light. The ones who want to drown will drown. But the lighthouse stands, unmoved, unbroken, still shining. That is the role you are built for, not the ash. the lighthouse. Because when you finally stop trying to save people who are never going to change, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your energy comes back. Your time opens up. The anxiety that has been sitting on your chest for months or years starts to lift. Your health improves. Your finances clear up. Your mind gets quiet. You start building something real, something that is yours. And from that place of real strength, you find the capacity to help the people who actually deserve it, the ones who take your advice and use it, the ones who return your loyalty with loyalty, the ones who grow when you invest in them. That is what power actually looks like. Not the power to endure endless suffering, the power to choose who is worthy of your time and energy.